Betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Welcome back to the StarLadder ImbaTV Chongqing Invitational.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. There we go.
You nailed messing up, but you called out you would eventually do, literally just right before we
I knew it would happen.
There.
I mean, how many times have we done that this weekend so far?
I feel like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, though. Like, you cursed yourself.
Yeah, but like, I'd rather curse myself than just like kind of let it happen naturally. We just kind of dodged the bullet. It seems to be the common thing that everybody's trying to do. I mean, did you see Peter's tweet? He had the exact same thing, so I do not feel alone in my mistakes.
That's why I just let everyone else do, like, you know, the introductions and the
bullet.
throws and all that good stuff.
It was Neil yesterday, it's me today. I mean, tomorrow, you're on it. It's all on you.
I've been pretty good at, like, dancing and ninjaing my way away from having to do those things. So I think
we got you. It's all good. Sorry, we'll stop punishing you by putting loud people outside your hotel room for you.
Dude, that happened. that was a rough night last night.
Yeah, you love to hear it.
You don't. That's the thing.
Well, let's talk about map number 2. We are here on Mirage. It's Flash Gaming versus B.O.O.T Dreamskip. If you have just joined us, we did just see Flash Gaming take map number 1 in this best of 3 series. Attacker had 30 kills for the end of the first half. Tells you a lot. Yeah,
I'm kind of curious how Flash is going to look on T side of Mirage, because under Karsa, they had these like crazy aggressive executes, really high utility, really just kind of crazy antics. But now without him, I feel like they're going to be a lot more loose, free-form CS. Ooh. And right now, this round is not going well, as the pistols of B.O.O.T Dreamscape are certainly on point. Aeon gets 1 back, but they're still in a 2-on-4. Good kill from Alman, though. With the bombs down in such a rough spot, that's the real problem, isn't it?
You know what you need, though? You need some belief. You need some confidence. You need some faith. 3 things. Kind of all merge into one. Flash Gaming definitely looking to try and make it work. Oh, that's nice, though. Okay, a good read from B.O.O.T. I mean, the minute they see they're getting aggressive on short, they just charge them down together.
Yeah, it's also just the bomb went down in such a terrible position. Trying to recover that was going to be rough. As we refresh you on the LootBet odds for this game. And again, Flash the favorite.
Down from 3, though, so
we are going to go ahead and see Flash, of course, get the force buy. No bomb plant previous round, so they'll go ahead and get those pistols and armor, see what they can do. See if Attacker can kind of keep on pace. It's going to be the real question for me. He was so good last game for his team. 35 kills on that cobblestone victory. Absolute monster in the server.
So far, nothing really too crazy. Few simple duels in mid, but for the most part, it's just pretty standard stuff. Flash Gaming trying to kind of work themselves on bottom mid control using Orman, Lovey, and Aeon to make that happen. So it's a nice kill from Orman to find, actually, taking down Tommy like that. You know, a key player as well on this CT side.
You're going to get a smoke on a window as well. This gives them a lot of flexibility with their mid control to, like, dance up catwalk, you know, get control of connector, leave the option open for an A split.
There's an option at ramp as well with Aeon finding that kill. All you need to do is get the information on the position of impression, and you got yourself in a good spot. Nice eagle shot from Summer. Wabam! This is a round that's completely winnable for Flash Gaming. They can turn it back on its head again.
Yeah, I mean, really good work from Alman out in the middle in particular with his pistol work towards window room. That really opened the door for his team to creep into the A split. Now it's all on Splashka. He's got the M4, and there's a couple players really low on HP, but unfortunately he does not have a kit and doesn't really have a way in, so he will just back off and say this M4, and it's going to be the force buy shenanigans until someone wins 2 in a row, so that's what we're in for.
Just a nice and patient save on beat. Maybe he can get a little bit more kind of done here. Maybe pick off Summer. I mean, very, very close, but even that looks like an impossible feat. And an upgrade for Summer as well, actually, walking away with the M4 instead of the UMP.
Indeed. So Flash Gaming get a couple of free M4s to carry over into this round. And now B.O.O.T Dreamscape. Do they want to go ahead and force buy right back, or do they want to take the full save? Tommy gets his CZ armor, so I expect everyone else to follow suit. Indeed, we do see some more pistols and armor being spread around. Splashka's going to take a save, though. He wants to get that off as quickly as possible. So he's just going to go USP, no armor.
Couple beats come in here and there, mostly aggressive stuff in mid, and Attacker is going to be there just to drop them dead. Lovey chimes in for the third as well, which is Flash Gaming in pretty good stead to try and close this one out, as Orman then follows up with Moxie, and kind of every piece is put in play, really, for Flash Gaming. There's nothing you can really complain about for them here. It's going to go 2 for 1. Benkai can try and sneak in for a bit of damage with his P250, but that is going to be about it.
Yeah, so it is Flash winning 2 in a row, so B.O.O.T Dreamscape not being able to keep the force buy dream alive, so they'll probably need to take a save this round. Again, at least they'll have a really good buy, because Splashka's been really saving. He actually buys a taser for 200 bucks. Okay, then. See how that works out. Let's see where he wants to put it.
Just going to swing into mid. I mean, that's a pretty tough gambit when you got 3 players there facing you down. A lot of damage being done. I mean, you have to be legitimately concerned right now if you're Flash. Then you look at
Attacker. To sneak in. Yeah, this is going to be great. He's going to be able to get some... Oh, only got 1. What the hell? Why did they even keep taking long-range duels against pistol and window room with SMG from top middle? Like, an SMG from that range is not going to do you very much good against, like, Deagles and P250s.
It's kind of one of those rounds
that
where
was just silly.
You blink and you miss it.
That was just silly from Flash. That was absolutely, like, I don't know what they were thinking there.
Questionable plays.
Very questionable. I mean, I guess they were trying to buy time for Attacker to slip in through the side, because he did sneak in through the A-bomb site, but still, like, those are just duels you did not need to be taking, and now B.O.O.T Dreamscape have even more to work with. Double op setup in play, in fact.
This is great for Splashka specifically to really fight towards the top of mid, missing the shot. Buys a welcome chance here as Aeon then going to get ever so aggressive with this UMP now. Working his way down through mid. In towards likely connector and window respectively. Going to re-smoke window actually, which I like. It really zones off Benkai. You would think that they would hold until the smoke blooms.
Yeah,
but
that's, again, I feel like Flash is doing some really silly things, like making some really, like, just simple errors that is costing them in these rounds that they should at least have a more of a fighting chance at. Like, make B.O.O.T earn these kills and wins.
now it looks like they're very concerned about the position of Benkai. Always considering setting up for a boost hit. Just to try and clear things out, which they have done. Benkai going to come back and peek into it. Spotting nothing on either side means that we are pretty much at an even standpoint. Obviously, a lot of utility being invested by B.O.O.T right now, including the mollies. It really slows that clock down. I mean, we're already at 35 seconds with a molly that's recently been placed. It shows you just kind of how rough things are going to be. Benkai's attention, at least being drawn towards jungle, is ideal, but the flash is bad. It's going to be a quick 1-for-1, but you don't want a 1-for-1 here. You need something so much more oppression. Can't be getting 2 kills there.
Again, Flash making some errors out in the middle, 2 rounds in a row, and then just not trading really well up connector. Now it's all on Attacker in a 1v3. He knows where Impression is, and he will get that kill, but he's out of time to do much else, and Splashka will stamp him out. So it is B.O.O.T Dreamscape taking a lead away from Flash, and Flash's money is starting to run low, so they may need to take a save here. That could let B.O.O.T Dreamscape build it up even more.
Flash just need a reality check that I think that you're a map up, right? You played some good CS in the first map. Attacker played very, very well, and that was a driving force of reason why you got that map. That doesn't mean you can come into map 2 and you can make simple mistakes and ignore the fundamentals.
Yeah, it's not like B.O.O.T Dreamscape or like slouches or something like that where you're going to get away with making those mistakes. So we'll see if they tidy it up.
You're not running over them because they're a bad team. That's the thing. It's like not like you're just. It's not like it's a matchup where it's like, I don't know, a T1 team does a Tier 3 team. It's completely different. It's a very balanced game, and they need to be aware of that fact, otherwise they will begin to fall away in map number 2 and allow B.O.O.T to find it out in a third. Early days, of course, though, so we'll have to wait and see.
It's one of those things where Splashka is probably the best operator in the server since Kaze's not around, and then Ben Kai is a really solid player, so like you said, it's not as if the firepower sways so heavily in favor of Flash.
Well, getting a plant here, though, could be nice.
Yeah, looks like he might be able to do it.
He decides to play for a win instead.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know if he would have been able to finish that off, because there was 2 players really close that might have just run him down. So this is going to go the way of B.O.O.T Escape with ease at that. So there you have it. B.O.O.T Escape getting a nice little start to this. Again, this is their pick. And if you're just joining us, Flash did take the first map pretty one-sided fashion on Cobblestone on their pick. We have a pause coming in.
An opportunity at least to just refresh and kind of gather your thoughts, mentally focus. It's only 30 seconds, not a lot of time. The trick is, through experience, to kind of convey as much information as possible. And have the biggest effect in these tactical pauses. You get 30 seconds plus you're then 12 seconds or so of freeze time before the round begins.
Double op still in play here for B.O.O.T Escape with Flash, Splashka, and Moxie. Double op is very useful on CT side of Mirage, so Flash will have to keep that in mind as they get into their next full buy round. Again, Flash Gaming on this map under Karsa, very explosive, lots of fast-paced executes. This version of the team, without him, a lot more kind of default, mid-round, reactive, looser. Try to just let people make plays, and so that's why you see that mid control going in. Boost from Tommy gets the first kill.
Nicely done. B.O.O.T brings something fresh to the table to capture that first kill in a round that was a deciding one at that. They know if they can step up here and shut down Flash again, they can really stand a good chance of building something up on their CT side. So bringing something out of the box like that is absolutely impeccable.
Yeah, gets them an early edge. You see Flash trying to still go for the A split here. Alman, the solo man, out in middle, looking to try to see if he can come up connector, while the rest of the team is looking to come A ramp and Palace. It's all going to come down to timing for Alman. Can he catch someone off guard or not? No, he can't. Moxie's waiting for that. Impression up close on A ramp, and this is not looking good for Flash at all.
Yeah, this is getting from bad to worse. B.O.O.T just walking all over them, keeping it clean as well, growing their economy. I mean, you're looking at 7,000, 6,000 a player. At this point, Flash just zoned out of the round completely, and they're left with nothing to spare now. They can't do anything in round number 8. It's going to be just pistols, and that's pretty much it.
Indeed. Flash are definitely not looking up to snuff so far, Mirage. Again, I feel like some of the early rounds they lost were just off of basic errors, maybe a little bit of overconfidence.
There's a chain to
and now their economy is in the dumps as a result of it, which has been a real problem as well.
At least an opportunity there from Tommy. Gets aggressive and underpass, and you have 2 CCs there to greet you. Not exactly the handshake you were expecting. Molly, frag grenades, though, all going to greet those players, which means the trades effectively begin to come back in again. Attacker already falling to Impression. Malvi in just the same sort of risky position. In fairness to B.O.O.T, they seem very aware of their points of weakness right now. They know, okay, there's a lot of presence on underpass, so we're going to play very passively in window, hold for any sort of boost or anything like that.
Splash is going to have an angle to be able to get a kill here, and there's drop back down to the side so no one can actually really trade him, and there it is. Headshot on the Lovey, gets in the sight, no one can trade. And he's just able to set up and tee off some more. Putting on a clinic right now at this AWP.
Oh, he is loving it. It doesn't get better than this for Splashka, right? He can be so mobile around the back of the site, even with an AWP. Supported by his teammates, so he knows he can't be pushed from those other pillars. This is the pinnacle of how you want to play a CT side for B.O.O.T. They've had the perfect start, and it's been given to them by the mistakes from Flash. Yeah, they have to step up here. They really do. Yeah, they need to start getting some rounds on this T side. Again, this is a map that I feel like T's have a lot of opportunities to get rounds, much more so than many of the other maps in the map pool. So definitely want to see them doing a little bit better. They are going to have an AWP for the first time on their T side on this next round. It's going to be Summer taking it looks like. He's been kind of filling in Kaze's shoes this tournament when it comes to primary offing. They're going to go for that mid control again, so they're just kind of keeping up with the same type of play. This time Lovey leading the charge instead of Alman. Interesting smoke just landing in the center of mid there. Are we just going to play around that, take a few joules into connector while at least feeling a little safer to window for now?
Yeah, I love you putting that smoke on the deeper side of connector. Just gives them a little bit more access to catwalk without being spotted from a site. Also trying to do their best to clear out window room. So it seems like they want to work up catwalk, maybe do some type of split on B. The bomb's actually still in T-spawn, just watching for an A flank. So they're getting their bases covered. They're getting connector control. They're chasing window off. They're doing the basics of what you want out of your mid control, but they still lose a player in the process. Benkai comes in on the summer. That's the opt-down.
The thing is, life isn't all about ticking the checkboxes. There's a lot more to CS than just saying, okay, we've cleared this, we've done this. You have to be able to bring things back into contention for you. You have to be able to get the picks to maybe even work on towards sites. You can't be letting players like Tommy shut you down.
What are you doing? Go out there and trade. You're just giving them 1v1 duels. This is just textbook CS.
I mean, you have a flash if you get a peek short anyway. What was the flash, the utility, the overall thought going into the short take?
You're making it as easy on Tommy to multi-frag.
There it is now, just attacker trying to maneuver himself around through short, but it's going to be Tommy getting all 4 kills that come towards short. Doesn't pick up the AWP, obviously, because already 2 in play on Slashka and Benkai. He'll be shuffled back around to the usual suspects.
Yeah, this is just an atrocious T-side from Flash. It looks so disjointed in some of these plays, and they're just making mistakes. Don't leave him hanging. All right, saved. Good round from Tommy, nonetheless. You can't take anything away from him. He's doing his job. He's taking what he's being given. They're definitely playing good CS on Boot Dreamscape. I don't mean to take away from that, but it's just Flash does not seem to be on the same page on this map so far.
Impression. Again, getting that early pick. Just by prompting some sort of aggression play.
Yeah. You like it because it's varied. Like, it's not like they're doing the same thing. Like, they've pushed underpass around. That round they pushed Palace. They've been aggressive in middle.
It's constantly them changing it up. Like you say, variation. I mean, for early on it was some aggression towards the A site, then it was something towards mid. I mean, kind of already walked us through the motions. There really isn't much more to say. It's just...
It looks so deflated on this map on the Flash gaming side. Like, I don't even see what they're going to be able to do to... I almost feel like Boot Dreamscape's going to win this half like at least 12-3 or 11-4. Like, I don't see a way that Flash... Like, maybe they get lucky and catch a couple of kills in the early round off their mid-aggression and, like, roll that into a victory, but...
They got to catch a break first.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and they're not getting anything. They're getting maybe a kill a round.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they're going to fit in at least 1, maybe 2 more rounds just because of the talent that they have, but, I mean, it's also possible that Boot Dreamscape just 13-2s this half, and at that point, Nat 3 is looking real likely. So Flash need to come up with something fast, or they're going to be seeing a third map in this series.
The thing is, this is savable as well. That's the the situation for Flash. You look at the score and go, okay, you know what? Grab a 9-6, achievable.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they certainly have plenty of rounds to work with to still get back into this. But I mean, the thing is, Boot Dreamscape are doing a fantastic job being dynamic on their CT side. Like we talked about, they're varying where they decide to be aggressive at. And they do it in cool ways. Like, one round is like Tommy boosting on the boxes on Catwalk, getting a quick pick. One round's pushing Underpass. One round's pushing Palace. And the great thing about it is they're being disciplined about it, because once they get that 1 kill, like right here, they get the 5-on-4. Impression's like, all right, cool. Let's play default positions now. We have a 5-on-4. Let's just play standard, and from that, we'll be able to do great things.
Yeah, I mean, adding to that, you then saw Benkai was to get the pick towards bottom of connector, but it was very passive play. Benkai effectively had a player walk into his crosshair. All he had to do was just tap mouse 1, right? Like, it's very, very simple stuff that's worked out for Boot, but they're just smart decisions.
It's not even like raw aim or fragging that's different. It's that Boot Dreamscape are playing smarter CS than Flash gaming across the board.
Yeah, they're just making educated decisions, right? Like...
I almost feel like Flash Gaming just needs to stop trying to just work this default mid control and just like gather up and execute something together. Just try to leverage their firepower. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is a map where you can pretty easily like smoke stairs, jungle, CT spawn, get into a bomb site, trade, and then play post plant.
You can do an A take in MM, so you can definitely go into an A take.
Yeah, because again, a lot of teams, if you do an A take, they'll just play retake. Like, they typically don't commit like 2 players inside the site holding firm. They'll typically try to buy time for a rotate and just try to retake against those smokes.
The point here, at the end of the day, though, is that an A take is accessible, much like any execute really is to you. In terms of the executes that you do pretty much right from the get-go, which Mirage is kind of built off of.
Oh, they missed the window smoke. That's rough. But they're still going to be able to get up connector, and they are going to go for that A split. So let's see if it pans out. This is definitely a little bit of a change up from Flash onto tactics. Maybe it'll net them something.
Does Benko want to hop down, though? That's the question. Obviously, you got Impression as well playing towards the back of triple box, watching this play from Summit. Instantly, the molly is going to be thrown just to kind of slow that down. Benkai going to get caught, though, so far, so good. Impression is going to flick back and begin to work away at things. Moxie landing another shot towards CT. Getting the numbers in with the AWP. Swings for a second. So far, so good. And it's the double or setup that are just blowing them to smithereens.
Attacker stuck in a 1 versus 3. 2 players are low on health, but he's running out of time is the problem, and that's going to be it. Boon's going to take it. It's now another round the way of the team in Singapore. And it looked decent for Flash early in that round. Like, they got an opening pick on Benkai up connector. They were kind of, you know, covering their bases. They threw a Molotov under balcony to make sure that was clear. So they were definitely taking the site the way you'd want to, but towards the end, it just kind of fell apart. Boot catches a couple of kills with the AWPs, and so Flash still not finding any success on this T side, really. And now they have to just do a 4th pistol buy.
Not a happy team at all.
This is like a much different Flash than Cobblestone. That was like very confident, fragging very well, explosive. And in this, they look hesitant, and again, it's not on the same page a lot of the time.
Almost boxed in. Nice deep nade. It's going to do a lot of damage. They try and push out on towards the site. This is just looking like simple pickings as well for Impression. Tommy, Moxie all chiming in. Boot annihilating Flash Gaming. I mean, I actually am on the 13-2 train now.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see how Flash is going to win rounds right now. Like, nothing from them has looked...
What I don't get is what's changed.
Yeah. They just, again, they've tried going for more like A executes instead of just playing off the mid-control default and being reactive. So they have tried something different, but it's still the same problem of, again, just not really doing things together, not being efficient. Now they are just going back to trying to play mid-control here.
Okay. Playing across the smoke as well. Got so much information right now of what is going on. That's a beautiful headshot, though. A second as well from Lovey. Gives a welcome advantage to Flash.
And that's really what we were talking about earlier, right? How can Flash Gaming win rounds? Well, one was try A execute, see if that works. The other was hope that you get some nice picks at mid early, and they've done that this time around. For the first time, they've come out well on top early on.
Please don't throw this away.
Yeah,
please,
that's the thing.
Just keep it together. It's a good flash. It was a little shaky, but overall, Lovey is going to take down Tommy. This kind of KGB play looks like it is going to work out.
Yeah, there you go. So they win this one in dominant fashion. Really, the only difference between this round and every other one this half was they won their early battles in middle. That's it. I mean, that's what they were so reliant upon doing.
This is a lot, really, that that's the case.
Yeah, how often? The problem is they don't even have any more rounds to try to keep doing that, and you can't rely on that. So, Boot Dreamscape still have a chance to still come out well on top in this half. They already are, no matter what. Even 10-5 is still really good.
There you go, attacker picking off Slashka, getting it done. 3-10 though, and I'm just completely gobsmacked if I'm honest.
Yeah, Flash needs to win out this half, I feel like. They need these next 2 rounds if they want a chance to come back into this. If you let Boot Dreamscape get 12-3, 11-4, then so much pressure's on that pistol round. Like, you need to convert it to get back in the game. And you need to avoid getting a reset. You need that 3-0 start. So, there's a lot weighing against them.
So we'll see a early sign about the mid-take there. Benkai, Lovey both going to exchange blows. Benkai is Flash, so that should be another kill there claimed by Flash.
I feel like Benkai's living a borrowed time inside the smoke right now. Oh, finally does stick up at Amin.
Nicely done by Splashka though, sneaking in with the AWP just to grab that kill, trading yet again for the CT side. Obviously 2 players positioned in connector. One Flash leaving them both blind, but you got to do something with that. Second Flash comes in. There we go. We're starting to now see progress of Flash Gaming. That's a smart decision they've just made. Repeat comes in, punished that as well. This is looking better. Where was this flash, though, 6 rounds ago?
I mean, it's honestly, though, that they're just winning early fights middle. Like, B.O.O.T Dreamscape actually pushed top mid aggressively that round and basically gave Flash Gaming chances to get early battles that were favorable to them, to Flash. And that's been the difference these 2 rounds, is like they get at least a 1-man advantage out in middle within the first 30 seconds or so of the round, and they weren't doing that before because B.O.O.T were a little bit more passive, or when they were aggressive, they were more successful, like they were getting kills. But usually on the periphery of the map, it was like pushing Catwalk or Palace where they were having success with aggression. Their mid-aggression has not really panned out for them. And again, you have to wonder if that's like B.O.O.T Dreamscape getting in their own heads, like, hey, we need to like start doing things differently. We don't want Flash to read us and start countering us. So we need to be dynamic. So let's change the pace. But then there's like the whole like, well, if it's not broke, do we need to really fix it? So that mind game always comes up, and they've tried to be more assertive at middle. And these last couple rounds, Flash have taken advantage of that. And so now they're getting back within range. Like if they get 5-10 and then they win pistol second half, they're right back in the match all of a sudden.
The question is, do they get that 10-5? Then can they perform in the second half, like you say? So many question marks, really, Dustin. Moxie, a little bit of aggression here, playing peekaboo with the smoke. Aeon again with that early mid-shore, though, finding that success. Molly running deep in towards ladder as well. It's a pretty good situation, but Impression finding that kill towards ramp somewhat changes things, and now they have no leverage to split on towards A, or really B. It's all about mid.
Yeah, double op still out for B.O.O.T Dreamscape. They're a man ahead right now. Flash Gaming do control middle with Lovey. As Fancy and Almond are looking to bring that bomb around through T-spawn towards A side. Lovey will try to get into connector to be a part of that split. Got to worry about Catwalk and window room still, though, so he's got a lot of responsibilities, but he does work his way forward. And there's actually no one on A. B.O.O.T are playing a retake on that site. Just kind of one player, Moxie with the AWP playing passively towards CT spawn. There's actually no smoke to block him, though, so he can easily step up the AWP and still find favorable fights with it. That's going to make it hard on Flash.
The upside is that Lovey's position actually could do a whole lot because of where they are. Obviously, Moxie being spotted there will prompt Lovey to get aggressive. Because they're not on the site, Lovey can get really embedded into jungle, wreak havoc towards short. I mean, this one position really is the difference maker in this round, providing those players on site do not get picked off by this all. Or Lovey, for that matter. I'm not sure why you leave such a strong area of the map for you to control. Having jungle right now is so positive, but instead you give it up completely. You allow 3 different vectors of attack, and you know.
Yeah, Lovey needed to do better to stay alive and just kind of hold off window room. The thing is it's so hard to plant because one guy's out of the fight if he's planting, and then there's one guy trying to defend against like a push from CT spawn while the bomb's going down. So it can be very difficult if you don't have utility to safely get the bomb planted, and that was a part of the equation as well in that round. But B.O.O.T Dreamscape up 11-4. Again, short of Flash winning pistol, they look really out of this map, and it looks like a map 3 is very likely, which again would be Cash, which again, both teams will be happy with that. Both teams play that map a lot. Both teams are pretty successful on Cash, particularly in online play in their region, but also not been too shabby offline on it.
Well, Flash especially, 11-3 online is pretty good.
Yeah. Granted, some of those stats are with Karsa, a part of the team, so you have to wonder how much they're going to be impacted by not having him. But yeah, again, at least it's a map that both cores of the team should be comfortable playing.
Both on LAN as well, obviously, which is going to be the big one, though. Flash definitely more so than B.O.O.T. B.O.O.T 3-1 on LAN for Cash, as of recent.
So, still round underway here in the second half. B.O.O.T throw the smoke at middle, but we'll then just plow into A.
Yeah, they're just going to run through and take these battles, see pretty much what Flash Gaming can offer, and the answer really is nothing. I mean, there was some good opportunities for Flash to drop them dead there, some headshots, some spicy play, but we just didn't see it. Even when Orman gets behind them, we still don't see. It's a 3v4, now or never, really. An attacker is being pressured from all angles. This is just... I think this is over.
Yeah, well calculated execute from B.O.O.T on the pistol round over towards the A bomb site, which is pretty common for pistol rounds, to be fair. This will put B.O.O.T Dreamscape at 12-4. Can't really expect Aeon to do much in a 1v3 without a kit, but he does get one kill. There's a kit somewhere down the site. Maybe he could come up with something, but I don't think there is. So that is going to be it. Boot Dreamscape pushed us to 12-4 and get us ever closer to that third map, which looks almost inevitable at this point.
Yeah, I don't know what my belief is right now in this Flash lineup. I mean, they just look like a complete different team, like an identity crisis almost. Certainly quite a unfortunate situation for them. Obviously some decent odds there. Basically just under 2 odds for Boot winning that pistol.
Yeah, so you do see Flash Gaming forcing up, got the Scout, got some upgraded pistols. Boot is staying together at middle. And they do get Aeon out of the round right there through the spam. Boot looking to try to coast their way to 13. Then 14 would be that much easier, as Flash would not really be able to buy in the next round. A lot of damage, but no frags for attack. That's got to be frustrating. He's got Tommy down to 1 and Benkai down to 22.
That's smart though for Benkai to drop down like that. Saves Tommy's life and also gives the chance to collect on that kill, which is what they do.
Ha, he said doo-doo. Amateur, of course.
Lovey just going to creep around, landing the shot, but needs the second chance, and they will. Fancy making that work to connect for the second, but Moxie just dropping them all dead, finds the double and the third.
Like, the door cracked open, and you're like, okay, and then Moxie's like, nah. Slams it right back.
Like,
not gonna do it.
30 and 4 as well now. You have to bear in mind, Flash have nothing in the piggy bank. They could smash it on the floor, and there's going to be a penny on in there. There is no way they can do anything in this round. They might as well just save, wait for the pocket money to be delivered on the 19th.
Speaking of which, isn't it kind of unreasonable that people just smash piggy banks? Like, you could just open it. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
But like
why does there need to be this dramatic breaking of a product?
Because, like, you want that dramatic moment of, like, I'm smashing my piggy bank, I'm going to spend some money. Life's good.
Then you waste more money than the money you're taking out there to buy a new piggy bank. It's really unreasonable.
Maybe, like, you know, piggy banks are old-fashioned, and that's why we're smashing them. Don't need them anymore. Why would you buy a new one? I mean,
Safe probably is better.
Who uses a piggy bank anymore? Like,
yeah,
I think it's like just kids.
I think everyone has like a jar for like loose change or something
like a jar.
That.
Like,
but as far as like
if you don't
an
smash
actual
the jar,
piggy
right?
bank,
Like,
then, yeah, you just reach in and grab it.
Unless you just, yeah, you just.
It's a jar. I mean, you can just put your hand in there.
Maybe for dramatic effect, you could still, I don't know, just.
Yeah. But.
I don't know, jars have their uses. You want to pay for something with 1,000 pennies? There you go. Everyone loves that guy.
So we are going to get to what could be one of the last rounds of this game. This is pretty much Flash's last chance to fight their way back. Obviously, if this round doesn't work out, they're going to be force buying next round without a whole lot to work with. But off to a good start is Attacker here, out in middle, gets 2 with the M4. It's exactly what Flash needs to start finding their rhythm. This is a clean round from Flash. Holy cow, only lose 1 player on it.
It's kind of like you poke the bear. They appear for a second, they have a few swipes. But then hopefully, like, it seems like every round they then just disappear. Like, Flash, don't run away now. Just stay together. Keep that level of tenacity. And it's a long road ahead, don't get me wrong. I mean, Boot were on 14 rounds, let's not forget, but...
They'd have to win out to win regulation, right? So that 1 slip-up is all it takes to get Dreamscape onto map point, and you have to play for overtime, still from well behind. So, again, you can't really put too much confidence in Flash's comeback effort until they get within range. Like, I feel like if they could get to, say, like 9 or 10 rounds, obviously you have to give it a little bit of credence that they could actually make it happen. But for now, I think Boot Dreamscape aren't breaking even a sweat over this.
Yeah, it's very predictable what Flash have been able to do so far, so they need to kind of break the chain, prove that they can actually hold on to this. Don't let them get their 15 with the Eagles. Just don't let that happen, please, Flash.
Oh, yeah, these nades and incendiaries are doing wonders, but Benkai still finds 1 Deeg in all of it.
Hey,
and it's a 2-on-2. And Moxie has an armor and an AK. Okay, he's out, though.
There we go. I'm so glad the Molly solves that, because I was scared as anything for Lovey.
So another round goes the way of Flash, 6 to 14. I don't know what I was thinking.
This is a great pause if it's from Boot.
Yeah, go ahead and just slow it down. They have plenty of money to get some type of buy going here. I mean, I guess Splashka and Tommy would be a little bit lacking, but still could do AK armor. They still have money to afford an op for Splashka, so they could get a reasonable buy going.
We'll see a few very hectic moments in that previous round.
Yeah, definitely Bin.Kai was making things a little bit scary with that Deagle, but eventually does get
I'm really glad the molly was there, because I think if without that molly...
Might have been a chance for Bin.Kai, yeah. It seemed like the window was sliding open just a little bit. In fact, like, Incendiaries is what saved the day in general, because they also caught a player who was hiding behind Firebox with one, flushed him out, and got a kill on him. So definitely good use of the utility to save the day. But here comes B.O.O.T Dreamscape with the buy. Moxie will have a Galil, but everyone else is on AK armor. A little bit lacking for utility, but enough to do one good execute. And they're going to go for it over at the A-bomb site.
Flash into plenty. Attacker finding the first kill. Splashka, though, and the three-man trio that come out through Palace are putting in the work. Impression as well. Do find the headshot, then they'll find the bomb plant. Here, Flash Gaming, they got a retake. And the hope begins to fade on away.
Yeah, again, it was Flash taking kind of one-on-X duels, basically, right? Each of them had to face multiple tears at the same time on their peaks, and that favored B.O.O.T Dreamscape, of course.
How much damage can you do?
Yeah, just a clean round for B.O.O.T Dreamscape. Again, just using numbers. And I feel like attackers needed to kind of back off and wait for his team to rotate there, but he kept going for that fight in Palace. Again, he's facing multiple tears at the same time. Your odds are worse in those situations, of course. So again, it's just Flash looking a bit disjointed. They couldn't afford to make any mistakes. They've made one, and this puts Dreamscape on map point, who've played a really excellent Counter-Strike here on Mirage. They've definitely been well more put together than Flash on this particular map.
Take a glance. It's pretty rough. What do you do with 1,500?
We still see that Flash from LootBet there is the heavy favorite to win the third map. I don't know now.
We've gone from 3 to 2.3.
Yeah, so definitely the odds are shifting because of, you know, their success here on Mirage. I'm not sure who would win Cash, to be honest. Like, the way these two maps have played out and knowing that Cash is a map that both teams are comfortable with, I don't know, man. Again, we talked about how this match was going to be weird just because the roster situations both teams are facing going into this tournament. And, I mean, to be fair, it's shaped out that way, hasn't it? I mean, clear-cut wins for each team on their respective map picks, or at least it looks that way.
Definitely been a little funky. Splashka and Co. Looking like they're keeping things fairly together on this play towards A. I am all that remains now. Just a Deagle, meaning I think we are pretty much at the bitter end of this second map.
Indeed. Looks like Cash is just around the corner unless Aeon goes off with the Deagle. That's not a bad first effort towards doing so. But can he get much more? He's running out of time and no kit.
That's a good angle here, at least, that a peek up on towards Tommy. Spots the head. There you go. Now just needs one more to find. Impression. Where is that? Spamming on away. Hits the... close to the leg, at least. Spamming away, but, yeah, not going to be enough at all. B.O.O.T take it 16-6 and force us to our third.
Yeah, indeed. So each team has pretty comfortably won their map pick in this. You know, it's pretty one-sided for Flash on Cobble. Then, you know, we go over to the B.O.O.T Dreamscape pick on Mirage, and they win it very one-sided fashion as well. So again, we're going over to Cash, where both teams have played that a good amount. Both teams have been pretty successful on it within the region. And again, both teams are in weird roster situations, so it's a really scary game and very hard to call.
It's interesting to see kind of how things played out as well when you look at who stepped up. Obviously, we saw Attacker in the first map pretty much carry Flash Gaming through.
Sure.
In map number 2, for B.O.O.T, it was Impression and Splashka that were very high up on the board. They were both around kind of 20-plus kills to around 10 deaths. So we were pretty much doubled up on
which is good news because normally I feel like the Splash team has been pretty reliant on Bin.Kai. He's definitely kind of their star player. And in this game, I mean, he wasn't terrible. But he certainly got outshined by Impression and Splash. He still did his job, right? He was within a reasonable score range, and so was Tommy, which Tommy was also quite good on Cobble in a couple of different situations to try to keep his team alive in that map, particularly T-side. He was doing really well getting those entries on B. Certainly played a good game here on Mirage. And so that makes Cash, like, shape up to be, like, a game that's really hard for me to really know who to favor, to be honest, the way we've seen these two maps play out.
Yeah, it could go either direction, right? I think to me the question is who's going to perform. Obviously, Splashka in that game 23-8, Impression 21-13. Those were great individual performances from those two players, stepping up as that almost kind of duo of B.O.O.T Dreamscape. But for Flash, obviously, Attacker much quieter, 13-2-20. you can see the differences across the map. And also, I think as much as we do talk about individuals, obviously the way the teams played on a whole was definitely a narrative that we followed as the map developed. And yeah, we saw a lost Flash side, didn't we? Very early on into the game, they couldn't find their feet. They couldn't fill those opportunities towards mid at all.
To me, I feel like this next match is really going to come down to like who make. I mean, this is often true, so this isn't anything unique. But it's like who's going to make the least amount of mistakes, because I feel like on this game, Flash made so many mistakes early on their T side on Mirage that really cost them. It felt like B.O.O.T Dreamscape were a lot more disciplined, a lot more on the same page. They definitely looked a lot more tidy as far as how they were approaching things. So I think that's going to be something to keep an eye on. And Cash is like who looks more well put together.
I think for me as well, you have to kind of give respect to B.O.O.T because they found their footing off the back of the mistakes that Flash made, and then they built up momentum with that. And I think that's really something that you have to remember. You can't give a team like B.O.O.T momentum. In this whole matchup, when you got teams who are in quite a messy roster situation, what they're looking for, what they will thrive on in any match, is belief.
Yeah.
If you give them belief, you start to make them kind of... it's a bit of a cliche way to describe it, but if you make them feel like they're feeling it, they're on the ball, they're hitting their shots, they're getting these rounds, you kind of dangle it in front of them, they're going to be chasing that forever, and that's kind of what we saw from
And the other key thing here is I feel like Flash are going to be a lot more reliant on just like individual firepower, because again, they're lacking like an experienced in-game leader. They're even in a more difficult roster situation. At least B.O.O.T Dreamscape, they know that Moxie's out the door, sure, but at least they have their full 5 at this tournament that they've been using previously, which means that all their routines and tactics are all still well drilled there. They all are still well, understanding of how they want to approach these maps, what tactics they want to run. So I feel like they're in a more comfortable situation, whereas Flash is a lot more like they just need to make sure that their stars frag really, really well and outshine, the key players of... I feel like, my point is B.O.O.T Dreamscape, I think, has more win conditions than Flash Gaming does. I think they have more to rely on. So I'd actually favor them a little bit in this third map.
Well, there you have it, folks. B.O.O.T Dreamscape, the team to be apparently favored going into map number 3. I think really all is to play for. Find out with us who's going to take map number 3 right after this very short break.
LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.